Hello, my name's Bob Hampson. I'm a member of West Moreton Landcare, which is based in the Rosewood, Marburg area, Lowood area of southeast Queensland, about an hour's drive west of Brisbane. West Moreton Landcare is as a group has been in establishment now for many years, but I've been a member for about 20 years, and during that time I've held a range of executive positions, and most recently as president for about 10 years. We're a very active group. We have about 35 members currently. We've had up to 70 odd members. We're very proud that our membership includes all the influential people in the area. So apart from landholders, the local politicians are members. So 3 state members are members of our group. The federal member is a member of our group, and some councillors, whilst not being members, also come along to our group. And this is very useful for us. Our membership consists of people who are landholders as such. They might have a 1, 2, 3 hectare property or a 50 hectare property, and we have a whole lot of if you like, townspeople as well who are members. The projects that we work on, our interests, are those which are about land care, caring for the land or caring for the environment in its broadest sense. So we do projects that members are interested in. So it might be on private land. There may be some gully restoration or gully erosion to control. There may be some weed control and revegetation issues on private land. But we also do a lot of projects on public land as well. Our projects are funded by applying for competitive grants, mostly from the state and federal government, though we do get some from our local governments as well. We're a very active group, as I said, and we do a range of projects. Our current projects are quite diverse. We have a major project, I think our flagship project, the one that gets most publicity, is revegetation of the Brisbane Valley Rail Trail through the town of Lowood. We've now revegetated, controlled weeds and revegetated a section of about 4 kilometres of the rail trail through there, and it's really a showcase. So we're fortunate that it's driven by one of our members, who is a local nurseryman whose property backs on to the rail trail, and it's very heavily supported by the local community. And it gives you a very warm feeling to go and see the work that's being done there. So that's our flagship project. We're also working on another rail corridor project, which is funded by a grant from the Commonwealth Government of about $15,000. And that's about controlling, it's a disused rail trail. It's not used, a rail corridor, it's not used for anything. But through the town of Rosewood, it's greatly overgrown with weed trees, in particular Tipuana or racehorse tree or pride of Bolivia, and Chinese elm. So that project is about controlling those weeds, those weed trees through there. And we'll do a small amount of revegetation in that area as well. In addition to that, we have a couple of projects funded by the local government, Ipswich City Council, along the stretch of Black Snake Creek, which is the creek that runs through the town of Marburg and down into the mid-Brisbane River. As a Landcare group, I think probably our biggest strength is our members and the experience and knowledge of those members. So even though we have only about 35 members, there's a wealth of experience amongst the members. Not just technical knowledge on how to do things, or what bird is that or what plant is that, but knowledge about the community and political processes. We've been lucky that our secretary, for almost the whole time that I've been president, is an ex-local government mayor, in fact, for a long period of time. So she knows very well how the local government system works, and she knows people. So a strength that we have, and that I believe all community groups should try to develop, is a good relationship with their local politicians, whether it be local government or state, and including federal. Though we have they have less influence over us than those who work at the ground roots level, the local councillors. We have never tried to get out and be strong advocates or vocal advocates for any particular causes. We work, if you like, softly, gently, by trying to persuade and influence our politicians or our decision makers. And we found that if we can get the community on board, then the politicians will come on board. So we have, well, two good examples of that. The Brisbane Valley Rail Trail was a project that was started by one of our members, and he just revegetated a small section of the rail trail adjacent to his, or near his home, near his place of residence. And then he encouraged our group, the West Moreton Landcare group, to become involved. It became a project of ours, but we couldn't get much support from the local council, the Somerset Regional Council, until they saw that the rest of the a large number of community groups were becoming involved, and that it was a successful project. Now they can't do enough for us, and in fact they come to us with initiatives for the rail trail. I can tell a similar story with our experiences with the Ipswich City Council, whereby we came up with the idea of developing an area of mostly council land which had been unused and was overgrown with grass and weeds and all manner of weeds. We come up with this idea, and there's no way that I could get the local council interested in the project. So I worked through a community group, and we got a small grant. We applied for and received a small grant, about $6,000, and this gave us, and it was to do work on that council land. Council gave us approval to do that. And then once they saw that the community was involved in that, we had a planting day which involved the local school children, and all the parents were there. And Marburg's only a small community. The local councillor then saw that this was something he should be supporting, and suddenly that project became his project. And indeed, if you go and look at the project is, well, we'll say now completed, though these environmental projects are never completed. There's always ongoing maintenance and a little bit more development. But if you go and have a look there now, there's a big sign that says this project is an initiative of the Ipswich City Council. I look at it with a wry smile on my face because I know the true story. But it's good that the council want to claim that as their project. So we work very closely with Ipswich City Council as well as Somerset Regional Council. And through working closely with them, we're able to get a lot of things done. We get our way, we get our work done, we achieve our projects, we achieve our favourable end results by working closely with councils, state government, and to a lesser extent Commonwealth government, and local community groups. So we have I in particular have developed relationships, I have developed relationships in particular with the Ipswich City Council. One of our other members has developed very close relationships with the Somerset Regional Council. And I also have close relationships with the Lockyer Valley Regional Council. And these relationships don't just develop overnight. You don't just knock on the door and say, "Hi, I'm Bob Hampson, I've come to help you." They develop over a long period of time. And having developed those relationships, I'm very jealous of them. I'm in that I don't want anything to destroy those relationships, because that's how you get things done. The local councillors know you personally, and the council officers know you personally, and the state government representatives know us all personally. So we're much more likely to achieve our aims through these personal relationships rather than going out and waving a flag and being quite vocal about it. We never become political in that, regardless of my personal political persuasions, whether they're with the local sitting member or they're on the opposite side, we've got to work with what we've got. So we try to develop the relationships with local members, state parliamentarians or councillors, without becoming party political, if you like. So it's about softly, gently, and being passionate about your cause. And if you're passionate about the cause, then you maintain that passion, you maintain that energy over a long period of time. My messages would be that we can't do any of this alone. We're part of a community, and we need to work together to achieve results. So you must have the passion to start with, and turn this passion into community support. And then the community support, if it's a good project, if you can continue to develop the community support for a revegetation project or for improving the landscape of a whole catchment. If you can get the community on board, just get their support, then you start to see that the decision makers, the key decision makers, the key council officers, the key state government officers, and then our elected representatives, the councillors and the state government members, will soon become interested and indeed become strong supporters. So much so that with some of our projects, they bring visitors, high-ranking visitors. So we've recently had visits from 2 senators, in fact, to the Brisbane Valley Rail Trail, our Brisbane Valley Rail Trail project, and they came because they'd heard through the local mayor of Somerset Regional Council of the great work that we're doing there. So that sort of only leads to more opportunities and the potential for our project expanding, and indeed receiving funding for other related projects which may not be directly associated with the one that we were talking on. So my message there is about building relationships with community, other community organisations, and with councils and state government. I've even put little notices up on in the local pub and the local community notice board. I'm not one for social media, but if we can get people talking about what we're doing in the pub, then that's a good thing.